Hi, I'm Steve, you. Welcome to the video. Today I'd like to go through 3 things that I've actually done wrong. Mistakes that I've made. So the first one is a lack of execution. So early on I did a lot of learning and learnt a lot of things about a lot of various different topics, but didn't actually apply any of it. So I was going through and slowly building my business, but I didn't take as much action as I should have or could have, and apply a lot of the things that I learned. And so because of that, most of the things that I had learned, I had to relearn because I didn't execute them at the time. Which is a complete waste of time and not really the purpose of taking a course or reading a book or anything else. So yeah, one mistake that I made was to not apply what I learned, and as soon as I started, or as soon as I stopped doing that and started to apply what I was reading, what I was learning from a course, then I started to actually improve and build a proper business instead of just a side gig. The second thing is a lack of targeting. So I would go out and there were two things fundamentally that I did that was the wrong thing to do. The first is I did everything for everyone. So well, that's the two right there. I did everything, and then I did it for everyone. So I would go to a networking event, and someone would go, "Hey, I noticed that you did website design. Do you also do social media?" And I go, "Yeah, I probably could do something like that." And so I'd go off and do this social media thing, and then someone would say, "Hey, do you do email marketing?" And I'd go, "I'm pretty sure that I could figure that out too." And so I was doing all of these various different things, and I was a jack of all trades but a master of none. It wasn't until I actually went and studied just SEO and just focused on that I actually started to make a name for myself. And that is really what separated that is what fundamentally changed everything, really. And then as the SEO arena, I guess you would call it, started to get a lot more saturated, things slowed down a lot, and I looked for ways that I could improve that. And that's where narrowing down from everybody to just a specific niche has really made a drastic difference. So niching down is one of the best things that you can do, simply because it means that you start talking specifically to your audience instead of going out there and trying to sell everything to everyone, which is incredibly difficult, because there's 8 billion people on the planet now, with varying, we're all different and we like different things and we want to be spoken to in different ways, and we like to be personal and have people talk to us, not to people in general. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3 is don't take everyone's advice. Not everyone knows what they're talking about. Half of the time, most people don't know what they're talking about. So unless people have actually done what it is that you are doing, you need to be really skeptical of that advice. Unless someone has gone out and actually achieved success, you really shouldn't be taking their advice. This is especially true when you get comments on your videos, when you're creating content, when you're putting out social posts, when you're seeking advice from any sort of business person. You really need to do your due diligence and figure out whether or not that person's advice is worth listening to. For example, whenever I post a video, there's usually someone that comes in and goes, and critiques it. And it's not usually a nice way of critiquing. It's not something that's usually going to help me. It's usually something that is not really helpful. And I could look at that and go, well, I'm not going to post content anymore because people don't like it, or I'm going to change this thing because this person said this thing about it. What I really need to do, and it's taken me a long time to learn this thing, is to really assess whether or not I should be taking advice from that person to begin with. And it's taken a long time to get to a stage where it doesn't really matter what advice I get, so long as I apply it, that I assess whether or not it's from somebody that is worth listening to, and so long as it applies to my specific audience and it's going to specifically help them. And if it doesn't match up to those three things that I've found, it doesn't really mean as much. So yeah, that's my tip for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.